She doesn't believe balding is real. I think I have to see this.
I don't know if this is like a big fiery debate or if I just got thrust into like a very tiny pocket of hostility, but there is right now a raging battle of people debating whether or not balding is real. Kind of. That's the statement that started it. That was like the shot heard around the world for this topic.
I don't believe.
Do y'all see what I keep? I keep trying to get people to understand this about, like, I don't want people to vote. Like, this is my point, right? This is my whole point about it.
Even male balding.
Why?
First of all, if you're a male and you want to go bald, that's fine, like good for you. However, if you're a male and you don't want to go bald and you're balding anyway, that's where I take issue.
That opening.
You don't want to go bald and you're balding anyway. She thinks that guys, wait, she thinks they lose their hair on purpose? She thinks it's a choice.
Line right there, I don't believe in male balding, actually reached through the fucking phone screen and tickled me. I was smiling. It goes so hard. I don't believe in male balding. Shit is a myth.
Fuck?
It's like a cryptid, almost. I've never seen a bald man. No such thing.
There's no
That's
way.
a goddamn lie. That's a deep state hoax right there. That's like 5G. I don't know. I love that. It just slaps. It's not exactly what she's saying, but it's how she lays the foundation. The point she's making is that she believes that balding is a solved problem. And if there's anyone who is bald...
No, it's not. No, it's not a solved problem.
Wanting to be bald, it's due to their laziness. It's fundamentally what she's getting at. She's saying, like, if you're bald and you choose to be bald, yippee.
No.
Good for you, she says. But if you're balding and you don't want to be balding, well, you're just lazy.
Because women in this day and age have to do so much to upkeep their looks, and men cannot be bothered to just put some cream on their head or take a little vitamin.
It doesn't work.
Or get a hair transplant even. Women are doing more than that.
So her point is, compared to female beauty standards,
what the fuck?
Men balding is a significantly easier issue to tackle. You can really grab that one by the fucking nipples and solve it with creams and pills and hair transplants. And if you are balding and
that's not true. I mean, there's plenty of rich guys that are bald. If there's rich guys that are bald, they haven't figured it out yet. There are things that work for some people, but nothing works for everyone.
Want to be,
this is obvious.
Well, you're just a gluttonous sloth who's too lazy to fix this problem. And that's kind of the gist of it. I don't think she's super knowledgeable on how expensive, like, hair transplants are. They are not cheap, especially in today's day and age.
True.
Also,
this is true.
Being put on medication, also not super cheap. So, like, you can get, like, the finasteride, the minoxidil, and, like, the combo there. Get it with the fucking two-piece. And from everything I understand about it, it seems to work to some degree. It varies person to person, obviously, because not everyone's just a fucking clone. So
I want to try it. I think I need to try it. But I feel like also it might be too late for me. It might just be too late.
It doesn't work for everybody, but it does work a little bit for some people, and for others more so. But it's never like the cure to baldness, as I understand it. There's not like a magic pill. Like, there's no, like, Phoenix down for your hair. Like, you can't, chug your way to a full head of hair again. Like, it is tough.
Shut the fuck up. I don't know why I have to hear this shit.
And it is very expensive. And she's saying women do significantly more than this, but men can't even be bothered to do the bare minimum of stopping the balding with these pills, creams, and hair transplants. Again, there's not exactly, like, it's not Courage the Cowardly Dog where Eustace gets that handful of shit and can rub it on his head to fix the baldness, which ultimately led to other problems.
Yeah, I think so,
a lot of the medication does have, like, side effects and stuff, too. Like, it's not exactly the easiest thing. And I recognize that for women, there are a lot of things they go through for the sake of, like, the beauty standards that are put upon them that are also very difficult. But I don't think those should be celebrated either. I don't think there's anything good from putting
I mean, like, what does she think that, like, I'm sorry, but, like, getting Botox lip injections, you know who's telling you to do that? Your female friends. No guy sees that and is like, yes, that's what I wanted. And obviously some people do, but it's not as common as you might imagine. Girls die from BBLs? That's true. A Brazilian butt lift is actually one of the highest mortality surgeries there is.
This pressure on women or men to adhere to the beauty standards that people think they should.
More stigma for guys to do beauty products, and that includes like hairline stuff. Guys are like more generally insecure about doing stuff like that because they're not really supposed to. Beauty products, we were sold that that's a girl's thing, not a guy's thing.
I don't know how much of an excuse that is. There's not as much pressure on men in society as there is on women to upkeep their looks. And they just kind of get resigned to the fact that they're going bald. Versus if you ask any single woman something that's happening to their looks that they don't like, they will go ahead and fix it. Whether it's like
they do. They go ahead and they fix it, and they go to the plastic surgeon, and they are 37 years old, and after the surgery they look like they're a 35-year-old lizard. Oh, good. Just what we wanted.
an at-home DIY solution to like professional, super expensive treatments.
Now in the comment section, everybody was dunking on the guy here, saying that he was mansplaining and not listening, and that he's like not even engaging in the conversation, and everyone is on her side about how she's, you know, out here.
It's just a bunch of pissed off chicks. That's all it is. Just girls mad. Like that's literally it. They're mad that like there's more beauty standards on women than men. That's all.
Spitting and shitting the truth. Like these are all facts that she is speaking about. Baldness not being real and easily solvable. I don't think he did anything wrong. He's right. There is a stigma around men using like toupees or wigs, because then it's kind of like, I'm 5'6", right? A lot of people joke around like, just go get height surgery. Well, the people that get height surgery are constantly fucking clowned on. They get dunked on more than me at 5'6" when I play pickup basketball.
Sure.
Like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I get made
100%.
fun of all the time for being short. It is what it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you gotta play with the hand you're dealt. My dad is 6'5". Man stole all the height genes from our lineage and then kicked the ladder out from under him. Can't do shit about it. I gotta live with it.
Sad.
So like, I can stay 5'6" and I'm comfortable with it. I make jokes about it, but at the end of the day, I can't fucking change it without going and getting like life-changing surgery that'll have me debilitated for like 2 fucking years as my bones reform in my shins.
Yes.
I'm not going to do that.
Because
but
it's
if
crazy.
I did, I would be insulted for being so insecure about my height that I went through those extreme lengths to change it.
Yes.
And it's the same thing for bald men. You'll see this a lot, where like a bald guy will put on a toupee and it's not like the most optimal one. It's pretty clear he's wearing a toupee. People will make fun of him for being so insecure with that.
Well, I think they do that for women whenever they put on makeup that looks really bad, or like women that use filters on themselves on Instagram and then it makes them look one way, but they're actually like very, very much another way. Yeah, I think in general, like any sort of like looks maxing that you do that ends up not looking good, you do get clowned on for. I don't think this is just guys, but I think guys get clowned on for it more because men's appearance isn't really as heavily criticized or judged on.
The same thing with other male
filters.
beauty products that you'll see.
Oh, yeah.
There is a stigma around it. I don't know why she's pretending that doesn't exist. That's a very common and like really socially acceptable thing to make fun of a guy for if he's trying to like fix baldness or something and it's not like perfect, you know what I mean? And while I agree with her that the standards for women are higher than that of men, it's not like it doesn't exist for men. As I mentioned, I'm 5'6". There are innumerable women that want nothing to do romantically with a guy my size, you know.
No, this is true also for me. I mean, like the way that you look absolutely does matter as a guy. It 100% does matter. But I think that for women, there are like probably like there's more of like there's more wiggle room for guys than there are for women. Male beauty standard expectations are rising though. Yeah, they are. I think so. Why is that a bad thing? Well, I didn't really say that it's a bad thing or not, but what I'm saying is that men experience beauty expectations the same way that women do. Like, I've had a bunch of people tell me that, like, oh, you look this way, you look that way, like, in a negative way, right? It's super, super common. So for me, I feel like, yeah, this has always been the case. And I think it's true also for Charlie. Like, if he's shorter, yeah, there's people that just categorically say no. That's it.
Fun-sized men like
I'm
me.
aware of.
And that's okay. Like, it is what it is. Like, I understand that. Like, but the point is, there is a pressure on men, at least to some degree, to a lesser degree than women, but it is there. And what she's reinforcing here is the idea that men have to continuously adhere to an ever-increasing pressure on beauty standards.
True.
Which is very similar to what women have gone through for a long time.
Yes.
And I think both of these things here are not good.
No,
like, it's not
he's
something
right.
to encourage and, like, pump your fist about as, like, a celebratory thing.
I think also, like, it's not always a bad thing either. Like, if somebody's not happy with the way that they look, I don't think that they should be shamed for wanting to change it. So, like, there's like I think that there's a middle ground here that a lot of people don't discuss, because I think that there's a lot of, and I'm not saying Charlie's doing this, but I think that, like, on the internet, there's a lot of, like, virtue signaling about, like, beauty standards, where it's like, oh, you should be happy with who you are, with the way that you look. There's a lot of people that are just personally not happy with the way that they look because they don't like the way that they look for whatever reason. Like, it's the same way that, like, you know, people say, like, oh, I imagine myself as the other gender or whatever. Like, there's a multiple spectrum of people that feel that way about all kinds of different attributes of themselves, right? Some people feel like they would look better with certain different colors of hair. They would look better with, you know, like facial hair, without facial hair, and they're not able to grow it, or like any other, you know, infinite amount of things. So I think it's very, very common for people to feel this way.
Bad direction. So the guy's not saying anything wrong here. I don't know why he's getting spit on so much in the comment section.
I don't think that the problem is whenever you're doing it and it's an ever receding, I guess this is kind of a little bit of a play on words, right? Because it's like talking about the hairlines, but it's a ever receding goal. So, like, you can never actually reach your goal because you're fundamentally insecure about yourself. Like, for example, if somebody has like a mole on their face, I think it's reasonable that that person would want to have that mole removed because they think that it doesn't make them look attractive, or it makes them uncomfortable, or it lowers their confidence. But if somebody wants, you know, like 50 different things done, at a certain point you have to ask yourself, is this actually situational or is it pathological? And I think that obviously with a lot of people it becomes pathological. That's my point.
He's just saying, like, hey, you know, there's like a stigma that exists around it, so not every guy's going to be all gung-ho and like enthusiastic about going and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on creams and pills that aren't super efficacious, as well as spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a potential hair transplant that might not work super well, or might not look all that great. Like, it's tricky. It's a tough situation to be in.
True.
And to her point about female beauty standards and how much women go through to uphold, like, the female beauty standards that have been put on them for so many years now, she's not wrong in that perspective.
Absolutely
but I don't know
not.
why it has to be a battle. I don't know why she needs to now start shaming men for not conforming.
Because it's revenge, because women feel like they've been treated badly, and so now they get to exercise that same energy onto men. I think that's the reason why. There's a lot of social movements on the internet, this is what I've noticed, are motivated primarily by revenge.
Male beauty standards that are being put upon
like getting
them.
back at
like,
some,
yes, there are significantly more for
society
women,
or something,
but it's
like
not
that.
like men are just
Very
allowed to
common.
be slobs forever. In fact, I don't know how many of you remember this. Don Tolliver just took a picture with, or had his picture taken with his girlfriend once, and the entire internet was insulting him for like 3 full days about how ugly he is and how shameful it is for her to be with him.
Oh yeah.
And Don Tolliver, I don't even think is like a really unattractive looking guy.
Absolutely.
Like, there is still a pressure on men to look good, because they will also be insulted. That is the way the entire culture of, like, beauty has shifted. Where
bro, like, you go and look at any of my comments from, like, any time that I do a stream with, like, any girl. Oh my God. People spam that shit. It's super common. So yeah, it's happened to me personally. So I know this is a very, very true thing. And so, like, those standards do exist for men. Absolutely.
Everyone is expected to uphold, like, crazy standards, right? Now, of course, I do think it is still more for women, but it's not like it's non-existent for men.
That's
and I
true.
don't think balding is some kind of fabrication, some kind of made-up concept, in that it's an easily solvable problem. It's not. And I also think that it's very hypocritical of her to take this stance that bald men are lazy by not going through all of these procedures to try and fix it, because women will go through tons of procedures for things they don't like. So like BBL or something, or a boob job. But I would also argue that men that are trying to tell women that they need to fix their flat ass, or like small titties aren't real, you're just lazy, are equally in the wrong for having that perspective.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, if this video was completely flipped and it was some frat bro sitting there going like, yeah, bro, I actually don't believe in A cups. Like, honkers of that size, I think are just like actually made up, make believe. Like,
these girls would be going absolutely fucking apeshit about that. They would be going crazy, getting mad about this. And I think there is absolutely a double standard where women think that it's okay to have certain standards for men, but when men have standards for women, somehow this is a problem. I think this happens a lot. It's very, very common.
Go get a boob job. Like, go take some biotin or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'd equally be clowning on him for that perspective, too. Like, enforcing those kind of beauty standards and insulting people that don't, like, conform to it, I think is a bad thing. Like, for women and for men.
Girls have a lot of pressure to be valued based off their beauty, and guys have a lot of pressure to be valued more on how useful they are. And so guys kind of have an excuse. Like, Jeff Bezos does not have to have hair if he doesn't want to, because he has all the money in the world.
I know what you mean.
Also, like, there are some guys that look better whenever they're bald. Like, I think it's more uncommon. Generally, guys, and I think people look better with hair, but there are a small subset of people that do actually look better with less hair.
But, like, I wouldn't want to be with Jeff Bezos. He's old.
What advice do you have for people that are dating?
If they're wearing a hat, it might mean they're balding and self-conscious about it. So I would press and see if they're doing anything about that.
I love that.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Signing off advice from her right there. If you're with a guy who's wearing a hat, this is a clear indicator that there might be some balding under.
No, she's right. She's right. A lot of guys do that absolutely for that reason.
That he's very self-conscious about, so poke the fuck out of it. Make sure to interrogate, and if necessary, rip that hat right off and reveal the magician's secret underneath. There could be a chrome dome, and then you need to ask, well, what's he doing about it? I don't know, to me that just really rubs me the wrong way, because again, if you flip this, let's say it's a guy saying, like, if you're with a girl who's wearing baggy pants, it might be a clear indicator of
she's got a flat ass.
Not being super cheeked up. There might not be enough cake under there.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure to, like, press her on it. Like, what's she doing about that? Are you hitting squats?
Yeah.
Are you getting a BBL anytime soon?
That's right.
Like, what's the regimen to fix this? That's just as bad. Like, I think
exactly. It is simply projected trauma based off of them being treated badly or being held to certain beauty expectations, so them externalizing that onto somebody else. Once you understand, again, that a lot of these movements on the internet and a lot of these people that are feeling this way, the only real impulse that they're working off of is revenge, everything that they're doing makes perfect sense.
This whole idea of these beauty standards being forced upon women and men are just getting even more out of control in the current climate, and it's just a complete race to the bottom. I'm very surprised to see how much support there was behind her statements, because I find it to be kind of hypocritical, but...
Well, it is hypocritical. It is. It's absolutely hypocritical, and it's just a bunch of angry women that are unhappy that men hold them to certain standards, and some of those standards are unfair. It's true. Absolutely, it's true.
Again, this is a debate that I don't know how big the topic is. I just find it very odd now, where she's coming out here and, like, shaming dudes for being insecure about balding, but then not fixing it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are so many extenuating factors that could play into that for why they can't fix it. Like, maybe they have tried all the creams. Maybe they've spent tons and tons of money.
They could also have a secondary health condition that makes taking the creams a complication. And so there's a reason why you can't do that, because doing anything in your body that's going to, like, grow your hair back, for example, like, most things have, like, there are side effects to everything. And so there's a lot of reasons why people might not want to take certain medications.
Trying to combat this problem to no avail. Like, there are so many things to take into account. If you want to do things to your body that make you happier and more comfortable, then go right ahead. But to do it because other people think that it's expected of you, I think is horrible. Like, some people that are, like, feeling pressure to get a buccal fat removal procedure or some shit like that, because that's, like, the beauty trend.
Oh,
it's just not good. And it does exist for men too, to a lesser degree. I agree with her that women have definitely had more pressure on them when it comes to the beauty standard.
It's not even remotely close. Women have way more pressure put on them by men. Like, you go look at the top 100 streamers for guys, and you're going to see some ogres. But you look at the top 100 streamers for girls, and there's not a single one of them that isn't attractive. That's just the way it is. That's life.
It's not like it is, non-existent when it comes to men as well.
I'm gonna criticize
as evident by this take here that has a lot of support about how, like, men who are bald, they're just lazy. They got to fix it. If they're self-conscious about baldness and doing nothing about it, they're lazy. In fact, rip their hat off to double check to make sure they're not bald and insecure.
Sure.
And it's just
great idea.
I don't love that. And I was pretty surprised that this debate was so split. Well, not even split. Most people were on her side with the take. It was just surprising as all. Anyway, I've been yapping about this for a while, when really it might just be a full-blown nothing burger of a topic where I got roped into, like, the fucking gravitational pull of the debate, like the actual epicenter. No idea, but I found it to be interesting nonetheless. That's about it. See ya.
I completely fucking agree, by the way. I think he's totally right. It's very annoying for me, too. But, like, where a weave baldy, yeah, there's the video. Give it a like. It's a Charlie video. I think they're great. Buccal fat removal and his whole ass, the worst beauty trend. I think it's pretty bad, too. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I think most people aren't. But anyway, yeah, I think that there's a lot of women that the reason why they push certain stuff like that is that they feel like, oh, well, men do something that's similar to this, so we need to react and respond in a way that's adversarial to that for that reason. And I think that's really what's going on here, and that's what's been going on with a lot of this stuff, and it's what has been for a while. So yeah, that's basically it. Subject of video summarized equals bald. Yes, true. But beautiful women can get viewers if they have no personality and produce boring content. That's not true. Attractive girls generally cap out at like 1,000 or 2,000 viewers. Like, just being like, if you scroll down, you'll see plenty of like 9s that are like sitting there with like maybe a few hundred viewers, like maybe 1,000 viewers or something like that. Like, yeah, no, it's true. So it's not like it's totally, it's not one or the other, right? But I think in general show us. So I'm just saying that that's how it is. You see the U.S. now owns 10% of Intel? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I looked at it earlier. But 1,000 to 2,000 viewers is like top elite of Twitch already? No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that, like, being attractive as a girl, like, basically, like, to get to the top of Twitch, it's easier to get to the top of Twitch if you're a guy. But it's easier to get to the middle of Twitch if you're a girl. Does that make sense? So, like, women have, like, an unironic glass ceiling where, like, very few women ever get above 10,000 viewers, right? It's extremely uncommon. Like, obviously, some of them do, but the amount of men versus women, it's like a ratio of, like, fucking 50 to 1 or, like, 100 to 1. And so top 1% is in the middle. Well, what I'm saying is, like, you're not going to get to, like, top 100 or even top 1,000 success, right? And so, yeah, because their personality is 0. Yeah, I mean, in some cases it is. Not all of them, but in some cases.